All right, look live, Jarvis. It's playtime.
Hello, folks. It is Friday night. It is 8 o'clock, which can mean only one thing. You're on YouTube watching tonight's Wrestling Gold Friday night. How is everybody doing this evening? Hopefully, my internet's, or not my internet, but hopefully the hotel's internet holds up. It held up pretty good last night, so not sure what today will hold. Let's see what's going on here before I get started in here. Yeah, tonight is going to be just a special watch along edition of Wrestling Gold Friday night. Got to shut the volume down on the phone. Let's see. Ringtones, notifications, media. Yes, we need media. All right. One more thing here. Let me get this up here. Uh oh. All right, going to post a link to the watch along in the chat here. So yes, if you are watching this live, oh there it is. Hope I didn't press the wrong button there. But yeah, there's a link. It is the Great American Bash 1985. Of course, last year, like I mentioned last night, we watched the Great American Bash 86. This because it correlated with Dusty Rhodes winning his third and final NWA World Heavyweight Championship. But yeah, other than that, how's everybody doing? No beer tonight, just plain old water. Like I said, I'm on location and Bootylicious, Blythe Woods, South Carolina. Staying at the cozy, cozy Comfort Inn. So yeah, cheers for all your hardworking men and women who did the grind all week and doing the grind this weekend. Cheers. Okay, not that bad. Actually, that's kind of reason water's kind of dripping. That's straight from the cooler. Uh, and it's just me, or that's the best water right there. Straight from any drink, just about. You have your cooler there. You put ice over it, let it chill. Tastes better that way. But anyway, let's take a quick commercial break while I get set up. Yes, join me in the chat. Any memories, any opinions, any questions? Just feel free to hit me up in the chat. Also, this is will be on YouTube, so therefore, if you're not watching this live, you're watching replay. Again, hit me up in the comments, um, or like I said, just drop me a hello. That's always cool as well. So let's take a quick commercial break and be right back after this message. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. If you made it this far in the video, you're having fun. You folks know what to do. Everybody says this, so let's go through the whole routine. If you enjoy it, click on that like button. Also, leave me a comment. Give me your opinions on anything I talk about tonight. Ask questions, or just drop a friendly hello. That's always cool as well. Also, if you enjoy listening to a fan, just like you folks at home, talk about the sport of professional wrestling, be a champ, click on that subscribe button. Now, back to our program. All right, yes, here we go. It is, like I said, it took place at the, let me get my notes. Besides trying to read the ticket. So, Great American Bash 1985, brought to you by Jim Crockett Promotions. Took place in Charlotte, North Carolina at the American Legion Memorial Stadium. Attendance was 27,000 people. And that's a pretty good number in 1985. Of course, it was kind of outside and in a stadium. Not sure. I should have just looked it up, see if it's still around. I imagine this was maybe a minor league ball field or maybe a rec ball field, something like that. But whenever you're ready, we'll do a countdown here and get this thing going. And just a reminder, next week, I tire balls. So yeah, no live streams, maybe a video, but I wouldn't. If I if I put up a video, um, you'll be as shocked as I am. Okay, you won't be as shocked as I am. You'll probably be more shocked, but uh, let's see here. What's going on here? Let me see what's going on here. Because a second ago it was excellent. Hmm, still says excellent. Oh, now it says poor. Oh no. Oh no. Don't. Okay. Hmm. Sorry, folks. This ain't want to be. Of course, this wants to be complicated today. Where is? Well, it is that. So, okay. All right. Go ahead. Go do the countdown here. All right, folks. Going to record some of this. Uh, Wrestling Gold Friday night. About to start the watch along right now. So here we go. Okay. Think I have a little bit of problems here. Don't know why, but it was excellent just a second ago. But now it wants to be difficult, but here we go. It's hotel internet, so be patient with me. Anyway, here we go. In five, four, three, two, one. Press play now. And we got skydivers. You know what? When I was younger, I always thought that would be cool to do. Now that I'm much older, uh, if somebody said, "Hey, let me take you skydiving," I'd be like, "No, I am not jumping out of a perfectly good plane." But it still does look cool when other people do it. Hey, somebody landed right on the mat. Good for him or her. Yeah, I think it's a him. Well, that not sure if that's 27,000 people, but that looks like a crap load of people. And there he is. Two legends here. Well, actually, three legends. The referee right there is Sonny Fargo. We talked about him. What was it last week? Week before last. He would go to Memphis and wrestle as Roughhouse Fargo, and they would explain that, oh, because he's actually a referee for Crocker Promotions, but he would go to Memphis during holidays, maybe during summer sometimes. Uh, Not this summer, of course, um, but he would go down there and team up with Jackie Fargo and Jackie and Don Fargo, and the explanation would be, oh, here's our other brother. They let him out of Nut House. Here's Rough House Fargo. You basically come in, do comedy spots, squirt, ketchup, mustard at the heels, throw popcorn at people, and bite the heels, things of that nature. And don't forget the legendary manager J.J. Dillon. Ron Bass. Ron Bass is a. Let me just say that dude's a badass. Um, I forgot what he died of, but I think it's some kind of abdominal ulcer. I guess exploding ulcer or something like that. Something like that. But the dude thought it was like just a stomach ache, and he's like, I get over it. But it wound up being something more serious. Yeah, I mean, before everything went to YouTube, there used to be podcasts, and before everybody had a podcast. Well, I guess everybody was having a podcast, but not directly. As before everybody got on YouTube, people had their own like um, podcasts and stuff like that, whatever podcast stations there were. And he did an interview on one of them, and dude seemed to be pretty cool and down there. And he's about to put a whooping on Bell. He said, "Boy, Ric Flair's one of my friends. You ain't no damn nature boy, bitch." But I heard an interesting story about Buddy Landell. I don't know if I shared it already, but one of the ways he would make money, he'd go in a grocery store, slip and fall, slip and fall, and the managers and all that come out, and I guess uh, they'll talk with him, and they say, "Hey, um, we don't really want to be sued. How much you need?" And he say like 10 grand or something like that, and they pay him the 10 grand and go off. Well, he did this for I guess a number of years. I forgot who was telling the story. Was it JBL who hurt somebody else, or it could have been the Briscoes. Anyway, I digress. But he said, yeah, one day he, came in and uh, slipped and fell in the store, and people came out, manager came out, said, "Oh, we're sorry, sir." And he's like, "I had to call a lawyer on this one." He's like, "Okay, that could be interesting. Let's go look at the camera and see what it says, or see what the camera shows." And Buddy was like, "Camera?" It's like, "Yeah, camera right there." Um, and he's like, "You know what? I'm fine. I'm just gonna go on home." What's up, Joe King? I always love the outdoor events. Yes, outdoor events are pretty cool. I remember there was a indie promotion here in Georgia. Um, kind of controversial ending to it, but it was here in Georgia. Georgia Wrestling Promotions. They would hold. There was this town in Waleska that had a ball field, basically a rec field and stuff like that, and they would have outdoor shows. Chick Donovan was actually one of those shows. You talking about the skydiving? Yeah, I couldn't. I don't think I can do the parachuting. I'm not jump. Okay, like I said before, I'm not jumping out of a perfectly good plane. Not doing it. Nope, nope. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Never, 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 never. Ever. So here's, I guess, yeah, July of '85. They were kind of, they were actually pushing Buddy Landell here. Uh, and it's no secret that Buddy Landell on Starrcade '85 would win the national title from Terry Taylor. And basically, they was pushing him to become the world champion. And besides just getting a plane to go to Charlotte to Atlanta to do Atlanta TV, he decided to do a, I think it was an 8 ball of cocaine or something like that, and drive to Atlanta. So, so he gets to Atlanta, gets to a hotel, and sleeps the rest of the time. Um, Misses TV, and when he finally comes in, Dusty just says, "Hey, give me the belt. You're fired." And it's a story that's been told many times by Buddy Landell, by Baby Doll. She told it. And I think I've repeated it a few times on this one. So yes, if I were, if you were hearing me talking about Matt Riddle being this generation's Buddy Landell, that's why. Matt Riddle, ton of talent, looks, talent, everything. His own worst enemy. That dude could probably be in the world title hunt right now. I mean, if not WWE, he maybe things didn't work out. WWE could have went to TNA or AEW. And if he was in AEW, yeah, I think AEW might be in would be in a better predicament on both ends. But like I said, him being his own worst enemy. But well, okay, so story here, hey, Ron Bass is now the babyface because JJ turned against Ron Bass. But it's that dynamic I've always talked about, the pretty boy blonde hair heel like a Ric Flair against the blue collar type guy, Dusty Rhodes. Kind of got that dynamic here. You got the supposedly rich, wealthy, wearing suit tie type of heel, cocky heel, very cocky heel, and Buddy Landell. Then you kind of got the blue collar cowboy guy and Ron Bass. And at the time, yes, Ron Bass was using a claw, so that's why he's got the big black glove on. But I think most of his career, talking about Ron Bass, I think most of his career he was a heel, but tough son of a gun, tough son of a gun. Now that's not me saying that's the Bleacher Report, that's ESPN. Just kidding. And you know it's the '80s when see J.J. Dillon was wearing the bedazzled jackets before the bedazzling thing was cool, which is okay, kids. It's not really cool anymore. I don't think. JJ is a jacket, not a chandelier. So ease up on the bedazzling. Yeah, JJ wasn't afraid to get involved. So yeah, so again, a little history here. So the whole Buddy Landell getting the belt didn't go down as planned. Um, Dusty won the national title. Uh, Somebody's bell got rung. Get it? Bell got rung. But so that's how JJ got with Tully, and they formed the Four Horsemen by accident. Completely authentic deal. Basically, I think there were some 6-man tags or 8-man tags, and Arn Anderson just so happened to say, when the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse comes to your town, and people just bought into it. It's like I said, the best things in pro wrestling is usually something that maybe was a complete accident, wasn't planned out. It just happened organically. And that's one of the examples. The formation of the Four Horsemen, Austin 316, the rise of Steve Austin, Daniel Bryan, the Yes Movement, Becky Lynch, the Man. I think that's one more thing wrestling needs right now. Something just organically just happens. I'm not sure if Oba Femi's is organically. It could be organic. Dude's just a beast, dude. Looks like a freaking star. He's gonna make billions, millions, and TKO is gonna make millions upon billions with that kid. Uh-oh. Roughhouse is getting mad. He's had enough of JJ Dillon. He's saying, "Get your ass back over there in the corner." Great camera work. Great editing there. Oh, went for that corkscrew elbow and missed. But you kind of seen where Buddy Landell's kind of leaning over. They was basically getting ready to call their spots, but the cameraman is right there. So whoever did the editing of this uh, went to the, I guess a hard cam, whatever they call it, the crowd cam, and show the crowd. That way you didn't see Buddy Landell's lips moving or see him talking. And he kind of did again right there, but you can't tell. Ron Bass had enough of this. He's getting ready to put a whooping on Nature Boy Buddy Landale. Yeah, I guess we can't really. I was about to say, yeah, Ron Bass getting soup bones right there, but it's not Junkyard Dog or the Junkyard Dog, Ron Simmons, Undertaker. That's the only time. That's the only time you can call the right hand or fist soup bones. Crowd coming alive there a little bit organically. No pipe in noise. Oh, he's like, fuck this. Let it run, JJ. Oh, showing the fans there. He's ready to get that claw. Uh oh. And there's the bell. That means we got, and that, my friends, is what they used to call Broadway. 20, was it 20-minute Broadway? So yeah, Ron Bass and Black Bart were the Long Riders, uh, Mid Atlantic Tag Team Champions, and all that good stuff. And they had a split, and Bass became babyface, and would also set up a little feud with him and Black Bart. And I think they had a match at Starcade '85 as well. One of those, if Bass wins, he gets 5 minutes with JJ Dillon, and he's got the claw. Even Buddy's like, okay, okay, I guess I'll help him out. Yes, believe it or not, the claw hold, boys and girls, was a finisher. Oh, something's going on. Oh, somebody in the crowd was fighting. A couple of the fans were fighting each other, or it could be booing. See, this is back when not everybody had interest music, and there they are. the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson. And they're going to be taking on Buzz Sawyer and Dick Slater. I almost feel sorry for. I feel sorry. Ole can take it. Arn, yeah, Arn can take it too. But now, from the stories I've heard, watching shooting interviews like that, Buzz and Dick Slater acting crazy, it's not an act. Dick Slater being a tough, acting like a tough guy, it's not an act. There's been plenty of pro wrestlers say, "Hey, Dick Slater can, he's got a right hand can knock you the hell out." Uh, Mike Graham shooting review talked about Dick Slater. He said him and Bob Orton Jr. got into it, and he was beating the hell out of Bob Orton Jr. And Senior was there, and Dick just turned around and said, "You want some of this too, old man?" And Senior just threw his hands up, and Slater just kept on beating the hell out of Bob Orton Jr. They would become tag team partners later on, but and of course there's the infamous story of him beating up Sting. And stories of him like going in the bars and beating up NFL football players. And Buzz Sawyer, I mean, no, you've heard plenty of interviews and stuff like that talking about he was a nice guy, but okay, yeah, he stiffed a few people. He stiffed a few possibly up and coming wrestlers of some money, saying they train them. Two of them they probably shouldn't have done that with Magnum TA and Mark Callis, aka Undertaker. But kind of take that out of the equation of how he was an asshole towards people. At least he didn't like what's the word? What's the proper social media word? Streaming word? Unalived. He never unalived anybody. I mean, supposedly he would go to go to a Cadillac dealership in Atlanta. Say, oh, can I just test drive this Cadillac, and him be, you gotta understand, back in those days, Georgia Championship Wrestling was huge. It was popular. They were basically local celebrities. So it's like, sure, Buzz. Um, so yeah, Buzz would take the Cadillac and drive the shit out of it, and come back, not looking so new. But yeah, Joe. I mean, that's a lot of talent in that ring. I mean, you got Arn Anderson in there. I mean, he's just really getting going right here. Uh, Buzz Sawyer, hell of a talent. Like I said, despite him being, pardon my language, an asshole, the dude is a talent in the ring. And like I said, I mean, there is like a home video thing that's on YouTube of him actually training with people and kind of being nice. So I don't know if he was kind of trying to change his ways a little bit. I don't think he was that old when he passed away. I don't even think he was 40 when I think he was like 33 when he passed away. There we go. Figure four. Is Buzz biting? Yeah, I think Oli just said GD. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, talent galore. Get Arn Anderson, like I said, just now really getting to his groove, or starting to really get in his groove. Then come '86, I mean, by '86 he was in his prime. And Oli, like I said, a lot of people have not so great words about Oli too, but Oli was about making money. He wasn't a people person. I mean, that's what I get. I mean, even watching him in the shooter interviews, probably didn't seem like a pleasant. I mean, he was nice to me when I bought his book. Hey kid, how you doing? Gave me the handshake and everything, and yes, Mr. Anderson, a huge fan of yours. Loved it when you beat up Dusty Rhodes. Okay, I probably didn't. Yeah, I did say that because I think, yeah, I'm trying to remember. I might not have said it. Might have thought of it. Oh, here he comes. Oh, there. Dickie's like, nope, not today. Not today. All right, here comes Buzz. Of course, Buzz is famous for that long, 2-year feud with Tommy Rich. And that right there, that was the belly to belly. But man, Buzz Sawyer had the prettiest power slam. And that's how you gotta do it. Sometimes when you're a heel, you cheat to win. Okay, I don't understand the disqualification there. Okay, that announcer screwed up. He said that was Gene and Ole Anderson. Now here comes another ring full of talent, somewhat. That's a Tommy Young. There's Manny Fernandez, Sam Houston, and Buzz Tyler. Buzz Tyler wouldn't last too much. Well, I don't know. I think he's at Starcade '85. Didn't last too much longer. I don't think. Him and Dusty had a little bit of like a pay dispute or something like that. So so that's one side. You got, like I said, Buzz Tyler, Manny Fernandez, and Sam Houston going against Abdullah the Butcher. At the time, he was known as Kunga the Barbarian, but eventually he dropped the Kunga part and just called himself the Barbarian. And the superstar Billy Graham. This one, Billy Graham kind of lost a little bit of that bulkiness. Was leaner and doing the kung fu gimmick. Okay, Billy Graham said, "I took a bump. I'm I'm done, brother. Go get him, big guy." And yes, Sam Houston is a rookie at this point. The protege of Dusty and Magnum. actually the brother of Jake the Snake Roberts and Rockin' Robin. Of course, his dad was Grizzly Smith. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. It's like, how did Grizzly get away with that shit? I mean, I know things were like different back then, but come on. And back in his day, Manny Fernandez could move. Oh, shaky cam. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to press. I thought I pressed record button, but I didn't. So this match is joined in progress. Yeah, just you seen some I wouldn't really say lucha Manny Fernandez, but basically went to the top rope, did a backwards leapfrog on the Barbarian, went to the other side of the ropes, did middle rope crossbody. Up, and you got the young upstart kid, Sam Houston. And yes, got the mention the other part about Sam Houston, the ex-husband of Baby Doll. I think him and Baby Doll's daughter wrestles now. I forgot her name, but I think she wrestles for Billy Corgan's NWA. And here's Abdullah. Nobody's ever beaten Abdullah Butcher. And there's a big boot from the barber. Didn't really get I say probably about a year after this, he perfected his version of the big boot. Probably one of the prettier big boot deliveries. Oh, now he's gonna start doing some kung fu stuff now. See those karate knees to the ribs and back. The double judo chop to the throat. The kanjebo, which is the Japanese kung fu word for elbow drop. So that was the Japanese elbow drop. The kung fu elbow drop. Can never go wrong by delivering the kung fu elbow drop. And poor Sam Houston. Yeah, I forgot that when I watched his Dark Side of the Ring, Abdul the Butchers. He was talking about how he was illiterate, and I forgot who somebody said on the same program, everything. So yeah, so Abdullah's illiterate. Bet you knew how to read those checks. And if it was a penny short, he didn't mind telling the promoter. And Bob Brandis gave Sam Houston a wedgie. He leaped through those ropes. He did it on purpose, guys. Oh, we got pandemonium now. It's breaking down. Got all 6 men going at it. And we got pinfall. I guess, yeah. I guess when I guess Houston must have got the pinfall after he landed on Billy Graham. Oh, Sammy's pretty happy with himself. Probably the biggest victory of his career at this point, or biggest pinfall at least. Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, and Paul Jones in a dog collar match. Paul Jones at this point was being more of a man, definitely full time manager. Every now and then he had a wrestle, and him and Paul Jones and his army had a long feud with Jimmy Valiant and whoever be his friend and not turn on him. But Jimmy Valiant was very entertaining, but knew when to be serious. Who recently just had his, I'm not sure how old Jimmy Valiant is, but he recently just had his retirement match. He said, "That's it. I'm done." Oh, there's Hebner. What- Dave, that's Dave Hebner, ain't it? Just can't tell them apart sometimes. One Hebner was with the NWA, the other Hebner was and with the WWF. But Paul Jones was a full time wrestler one time, and I guess he was over enough to wrestle along the territories. Jim Crockett mostly, some Florida. I think he did some Texas too. And while his commotion is going, Abdullah just took a cheap shot on the Boogie Woogie Man. Oh, Hebner get a grip on this. He's losing control of this match already. But yeah, Jones, I think he was a former multi-time tag team champion. I think he held the belt one time with Ricky Steamboat. Once with Baron Von Raschke, I think. I want to say Greg Valentine as well, but like I said, I had a long standing feud with Jimmy Valiant. I want to say, I guess when did it end? I guess around 87, I guess, end of 87. Then yeah, I guess it was about 87-ish when he brought in the Powers of, well, they were already there, the Powers of Pain, Warlord and Barbarian with Ivan Koloff, and they feuded with the Road Warriors. Oh, there went his social plans for the evening. Nope, can't run. And the fans love Jimmy Valiant as well, especially during this period in Crockett. Yeah, it started out just a straight up feud, then they kind of, went off into uh the ball headed geek era, or his hair versus hair matches. First, Jimmy Valiant lost his, uh, then Shaska Watley lost his. Then at Starcade '86, he made Paul Jones a bald headed geek. So yeah, this is back in the day with both wrestlers would would do color, with Oh, that was a bad mistake. That was a miscue. 1, 2, 3, and the winner is Jimmy Valiant. And yes, like I said, that's authentic cheers. Um that's not piped in cheers or chants or anything like that. There you go. Buzztide coming in with a cheer to help his friend out. One of his street peoples, Buzz Tyler. He had a lot of friends at the time. Manny Fernandez was his friend until a briefcase full of money changed his mind. Turned out pretty good for Manny Fernandez. He became a tag team champion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this match at the time was freaking huge. You had the Road Warriors, who at the time were still AWA World Tag Team Champions. And they're about to go up against the Russians, who are the NWA World Tag Team Champions. But yeah, Road Warriors mostly been heels until I guess the last little run of their AWA or last portion of the AWA run, because people just thought they were freaking awesome, so they started cheering them. And every time they would come out, man, they would get huge pops, huge pops. That's not Nikita. That's Crusher Khrushchev, dumbass. This announcer sucks. God, Darso was freaking jacked. Uh, so yes, that's Barry Darso. After this, he would come uh, Demolition Smash. So he actually started. It was uh, Darso. He was wrestling Mid South, and that's when he they turn him heel, become becoming a Russian sympathizer with Nikolai Volkov at the time. And did he change the last name to Khrushchev in Mid South, or did the Khrushchev come in when he came into Jim Crockett? And yes, very, Barry Darso very familiar with the Hawk and Animal. They come from the All come from Minnesota. All from the same area of Minnesota, I do believe. All trained by Ed Sharkey. Is that his name? Eddie Sharkey. They all bounced at the same bar, worked at the same gym in Minnesota. So yeah, in the WWE documentary about the Road Warriors, Darso gets pops up a lot talking stories about Hawk and Animal. Darso is actually one of the best friends of Arn Anderson as well. And here's Ivan. I mean, probably one of the best heels ever. Just I, some reason he doesn't get mentioned enough. Former WWF champion, defeated Bruno Sammartino for that championship. I guess we'll have a pose down here. And that's just called this big old sum of guns. That's a lot of time in the weight room. That's a lot of steaks. Uh-oh. I'm gonna say I can do that shit too. Yeah, I think even though Hawk had a better physique, Animal was, I think, was said to be the stronger of the two. But Hawk was the bigger partier. Yeah, didn't Hawk also get to enjoy some Missy Hyatt time as well? Yeah, that would be an interesting Dark Side of the Ring, Buzz Sawyer. Not, I mean, I don't mean to, jump back talking about Buzz Sawyer, but I don't think they've done one on him. But yes, that was the rule in the 80s. All Russians were bald. I think Soldat Ustinov and the AWA kind of debunked that. He kept his hair. Um, and Boris Sukov had like a little, had it all shaved except for little bit in the back. But then when he went to the WWF, he wound up shaving that off. Nikolai wasn't totally bald. He kind of kept a very, very short buzz cut, but close enough to being bald. And here comes the hawk. The best fist drop in the world in wrestling. Okay, the coolest one. I guess the best one would be Jerry Lawler's from the second rope since he used to as a finisher. Twin Magic, because they look okay. They got different haircuts. Yeah, do you hear it? Do you see it, dumbass? Just you wait. I don't know if there's any more tag team matches or it might happen in this match, but the heels are going to do that. And when the referee asks the fans, "Hey, did they tag?" and they say no, he still takes the heels' words for it. Man, a lot of biting in these matches this week or on this show. Ooh. And unfortunately, hate to bring up some bad news. I think the only one in this match that's still with us is Crusher Khrushchev. Crusher must have got distracted as trying to ask that lady in the front row for her phone number and wouldn't pay attention to the match. Gotta pay attention to the match, man. Leave the rats alone. Uh oh. It's about to break loose here. Now, before there was Gunther calling himself the Ring General, the Ring General used to be Ivan Koloff. Yes, the Russian bear from Canada. Eh? But yeah, Crusher looked like he's in better shape here than when he was a Demolition Axe or Smash. Oh, it's about to break down here again. Well, double tag time. Nope. A little short there. Oh, went for that sickle. Double clothesline. Since it's a double clothesline, it's not the sickle. Animal counter that sickle with his own clothesline, and they both fell down. But yeah, in case you didn't, in case you kids out there didn't know, the Russian's move was the Russian sickle, which was a clothesline. There we go. We got the hot tag in. Here comes Hawk. He's going to throw people around. He's putting the boots on to everybody. That could have been 3, but Crusher saved it. Almost like, yep, I'm feeling better now. Now this was a cool move. If they hit it, oh no, there's Crusher for the chair, and I think that's going to cause a disqualification. Or that will cause a disqualification, definitely. It is breaking down in Tulsa, folks. Referee has lost control of this match. And the Road Warriors are standing tall. They didn't win the match, but they feel like they won the battle. They didn't take home the NWA World Tag Team Championship at this time, but they and it was just a double disqualification. Which when you got two uh even tag team, wrestlers from different promotions, that's usually the way it happens. Usually a double count out, Broadway or something like that. Oh, damn, Alvin got a little color. Kamal said, I ain't walking. Sugar Bear Harris says, I ain't walking. Y'all gonna have to cart me to the ring. My big ass ain't walking. So yes, believe it or not, Kamala was probably one of the most feared wrestlers at the time. Uh, depends on where he was at. Some people call him the Ugandan warrior. Some people call him the crap, or the Ugandan giant. I think that's right. Ugandan warrior and Ugandan giant, managed by General Skandar Akbar. That's Tommy Young. Yeah, so we've talked about this plenty of times on this program. One of the biggest what ifs in pro wrestling is that guy right there, Magnum TA, groomed to be the man in the NWA. Definitely would have had probably multiple NWA world title reigns. The car accident halted all that, ended his career. But Magnum TA at the time was the United States heavyweight champion. This is his first reign as U.S. champion. He defeated Wahoo McDaniel for that. Will go on to feud with Tully Blanchard over that same U.S. championship. Tommy Young. At least the announcer got that part. He went through this match without a F up. Yeah, this ring announcer sucks. Oh, but yes, he was highly feared. Had feuds with, of course, Jerry Lawler and the Von Erichs and World Class, Andre the Giant, of course. So yeah, let's go ahead and also mention that according to the Dark Side of the Ring, the Madame TA story, while he was in the hospital after the accident, couldn't use his arms, uh, I couldn't really walk, but by golly, he still banged the nurses and took pictures of it. Good gosh, what kind of freak was he? But hey, the women's they love them some Madame TA. Camilla Mello. Ooh. Used to think that was funny. Even when I was a kid, I would run around the house and slap my belly around. Me, I'll do that Monday at the job site or tomorrow at the job site. Actually, got to work tomorrow, so I don't know. I don't think the superintendent's going to be there tomorrow, so it won't be as fun. The the Mexicans who don't speak English, except for one of them does. One of them speaks English, and one of them barely does it, or barely, or yeah, can't really speak. Speaks like very, very, very little English. Oh, dadgum. Magnum got color. Getting a ref, he's choking him. But that can't. Tommy Young, you jackass. So yeah, Tommy, I'm a little out of breath here because big fucker's been choking me. You jackass. Seriously though, if they ever started putting referees in the WWE Hall of Fame, if not the Hebners, I mean, I would understand they put the Hebners in there since they worked with them so long, but Tommy Young's got to be like at least the second one. Oh, there's a splash. Magnum kicked out. Magnum T, the American hero, oh, another splash right on the back. Wrong way, dumbass. He was a never give up, never surrender type wrestler. But yeah, if they ever did put Manum T in the Hall of Fame, they've got to point out that hey, even though this guy's uh and this guy's his whole body was messed up because of the car accident, he able to muster enough to bang nurses, and that right there is Hall of Fame, if you ask me. See, when you have no envy at all about anybody's whatever, you can say shit like that. You can celebrate things like that. Now, was it right for him to cheat on his wife with nurses? But no, probably not. But I mean, well, it was wrong, but still. Oh, here comes man. He's about made it. He's getting that mean look in his eye now. Moves out of the way. It's time to hit that belly to belly and go home. Oh, he's fired up now. Oh, not gonna see no belly to Scandal. That Bart might get the belly to belly. And he slams the big Kamala. And it is I mean, Magnum's not a small guy there, so it is believable that he can pick up Kamala and body slam him. Oh, here we go, belly to belly. Says, fuck you, Tommy Young. I do my own counting. That's, oh, call Piccolo. Yes, I, as you can see here, they haven't quite developed cordless microphones yet. So he's got that big long cord. So you get my notes here. Oh, let's see if I can fuck up this announcement. And look how freaking Jack Nikita Koloff was at this time. And yes, I mean, again, uh, Nikita Scott Simpson, I think is his real name. Same area in Minnesota. I think he also bounced at the same bar, probably a little after the Road Warriors and Barry. But I think Barry knew Nikita before he got into wrestling too. Also trained by Ed Sharkey, I think. I think, but I think he just learned very basic. But yeah, he he went all in. He Nikita went all in. He changed his name officially to Nikita Koloff. Act like when he went in places, act like he couldn't speak English. Um, so like yeah, his ID, his credit card, everything was in Russian, or it what not Russian. Said his name Nikita, said his name was Nikita Koloff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an entrance. This is a freaking entrance. Even Nikita's impressed. He's like, son of a bitch. And I believe that's yeah, that and the green shirt is David Crockett, and he will be the special referee in this match. I would love to take a helicopter ride. I never rode in a helicopter before. Oh, red carpet and everything for the champion. Yes, at this time, Ric Flair was a baby face. Obviously, he's facing Nikita, but it wasn't too long after this where he did turn. The infamous match at the Omni, where I think it was him and Nikita. Then Ivan and Crush Khrushchev came in, and they all started beating up on Ric Flair. Dusty Rose made the save, but then here comes Arn and Ole Anderson to beat up on Dusty, and therefore Ric Flair said, "Oh, I guess I'll beat up on Dusty as well." Who's this schmuck? Schmuck. We get it, dude. It's a chicken. Nikita don't know what Nikita don't know what you're saying. He don't speak English. Oh, Harold. Yeah, he's annoying. Please hit him for real. Please, someone hit this dude for real. Ric Flair. What the fuck? God, come on, David Crockett. Do us all a favor. Or the guy who was ring announcing. Hey, dude, you'll you'll be everybody's favorite if you like punch this guy for real. God, that dude was annoying. He's worse than the shooty announcer. Nikki's like, look, don't get too friendly down there. Now, David Crockett actually wrestled a couple of matches before getting into the announcing game. Yeah, I think the guy who's wearing red will win this match. The guy wearing the red gear will win this match. Maybe.